This is a Ulysses S. Grant Bicentennial moment. 2022 is the bicentennial year of Ulysses S. Grant's birth. This is a series of vignettes that lift up the people, events, or moments of note in Grant's life as seen through his eyes. These are rich glimpses that give insight into Ulysses S. Grant's life and who or what impacted him to mold the leader he became. The series is available on the Facebook page, Ulysses S. Grant Bicentennial Moments, and the YouTube channel, General Grant by himself. This has been a CWBN production. August 3rd, 1861. It is August 3rd, 1861. I'm Colonel Ulysses S. Grant, commanding the District of Mexico, Missouri, 21st Illinois Volunteer Regiment. On August the 3rd of 61, I wrote my father and my wife Julia a letter. I should like to read you what I wrote them. Mexico, Missouri, August 3rd, 1861. Dear Father, I have written you once from this place and received no answer. But as Orville writes to me that you express great anxiety to hear from me often, I will try and find time to drop you a line twice a month, and oftener when anything of special interest occurs. The papers keep you posted as to Army movements, and as you are already in possession of my notions on secession, nothing more is wanted on that point. I find here, however, a different state of feeling from what I expected existed in any part of the South. The majority in this part of the state are secessionists, as we would term them, but deplore the present state of affairs. They would make almost any sacrifice to have the Union restored, but regard it as dissolved, and nothing is left for them but to choose between two evils. Many, too, seem to be entirely ignorant of the object of present hostilities. You can't convince them but what the ultimate object is to extinguish by force slavery. Then, too, they feel that the Southern Confederacy will never consent to give up their state, and as they, the South, are the strong party, it is prudent to favor them from the start. There is never a movement of troops made that the secession journals through the country do not give a startling account of their almost annihilation at the hands of the state's troops, whilst the facts are there are no engagements. My regiment has been reported cut to pieces once that I know of, and I don't know but oftener, whilst a gun has not been fired at us. These reports go uncontradicted here and give confirmation to the conviction already entertained here that one Southron is equal to 5 Northerners. We believe they are deluded and know that if they are not, we are. Since I have been in command of this military district 2 weeks, I have received the greatest hospitality and attention from the citizens about here. I have had every opportunity of conversing with them freely and learning their sentiments, and, although I have confined myself strictly to the truth as to what has been the result of the different engagements, and the relative strength, etc., and the object of the administration, and the North generally, yet they don't believe a word, I don't think. I see from the papers that my name has been sent in for Brigadier General. This is certainly very complimentary to me, particularly as I have never asked a friend to intercede in my behalf. My only acquaintance with men of influence in the state was whilst on duty in Springfield, and I then saw so much pulling and hauling for favors that I determined never to ask for anything and never have, not even a colonelcy. I wrote a letter to Washington tendering my services, but then declined Governor Yates and Mr. Trumbull's endorsement. My services with the regiment I am now with have been highly satisfactory to me. I took it in a very disorganized, demoralized, and insubordinate condition, and have worked it up to a reputation equal to the best, and, I believe, with the goodwill of all the officers and men. Hearing that I was likely to be promoted, the officers, with great unanimity, have requested to be attached to my command. This I don't want you to read to others, for I very much dislike speaking of myself. We are now breaking up camp here gradually. In a few days, the last of us will be on our way for the Missouri River. At what point cannot be definitely determined, wood and water being a consideration, as well as a healthy, fine site for a large encampment. A letter addressed to me at Galena will probably find me there. If I get my promotion, I shall expect to go there for a few days. Remember me to all at home and write to me. Yours truly, U.S. Grant. I then picked up my pencil and wrote my wife Julia a letter. August 3rd of 1861. Dear Julia, this is the last letter you will get from me at this point. We are now breaking up camp preparatory to moving on to the Missouri River. At what point I cannot yet say. From the accounts in the papers, I may not go along. However, because I see some kind friends have been working to get me the appointment of Brigadier General, which, if confirmed, may send me any place where there are Illinois troops. I am glad to get away from here. The people have been remarkably polite, if they are secessionists. But the weather is intolerably warm and dry, and as there is neither wells nor springs in this country, we have drank the whole place dry. People here will be glad to get clear of us, notwithstanding their apparent hospitality. They are great fools in this section of the country and will never rest until they bring upon themselves all the horrors of war in its worst form. The people are inclined to carry on a guerrilla warfare that must eventuate in retaliation, and when it does commence, it will be hard to control. I hope from the bottom of my heart I may be mistaken, but since the defeat of our troops at Manassas, things look more gloomy here. How long has it been since I wrote to you before? I am kept very busy and time passes off rapidly so that it seems but a day or two. I have received 2 letters from you since our arrival, one in which you gave me fits for sending Fred home by himself, and one of a later date. Fred will make a good general some day, and I think you had better pack his valise and start him on now. I should like very much to see you and the children again. The weather has been intolerably warm here for the last week. You need not write to me until you hear from me again. I will write soon and often. If I do, write short letters. Give my love to all at home. Kiss the children for me. Does Jess talk about his pa, or has he forgotten me? Little rascal, I want to see him. Love and kisses for yourself, U.S. Grant. This has been a Ulysses S. Grant Bicentennial moment. I am Colonel U.S. Grant.